It is said that when it comes to the people that can be believed and trusted, one of the names of the topmost portion of the list would be Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was a spiritual leader and an Indian lawyer. He is recognized as one of the 20th century's greatest spiritual leaders and is and has been honored as the father of the nation. He is considered the champion of civil rights. The most important reason that people trusted Gandhi is due to his belief in nonviolence and the belief in being the change you wish to see in the world. His life was exemplary of this philosophy. It was Mahatma Gandhi that made a decision to send parliamentarians, national leaders, and media members to interview a young girl. This young girl had memories of a past life that those close to her were unable to explain. This young girl had become the subject of one of the most debatable and yet unexplainable experiences pertaining to reincarnation that the world has ever seen or heard. Lukdi was born on January 18, 1902 in Mathura, India. Lukdi married when she was 10 years old to a shop owner of the town. Her husband's name was Pandit Kendranath Shobi. In 1925, Lukdi gave birth to her second child, a son. The child was born by cesarean section. However, due to the infection, Lukdi died 10 days after giving birth to her son. Shanti Devi was born December 11, 1926 in Delhi, India. She was born in a small local area of Delhi. Shanti was a normal child as far as growth and development, except she did not talk much at all. Not until the age of 4. However, when she did start speaking more, she was talking about her husband and her child. She stated that she had lived in Mathura and he owned a clothes shop. You may want to doubt the words coming out of the child's mouth. However, the statement that she was making were ringing true to certain individuals. On top of the fact that little Shanti had never been in the town she was mentioning. The town was 75 miles away from where she currently lived. Shanti also called herself Shobin, which means Shob's wife. For the longest time, her parents ignored the talk, thinking it was just the ramblings of a young girl. This did not stop her from talking about that life. She described her husband as a fair man, with a wart on his cheek near his ear. She would tell them about different instances that happened when she was married. Occasionally at dinner time, she would discuss the different types of sweets that she would eat. At times, as she was getting dressed, she would talk to her mother about the types of dresses that she would wear. By the time Shanti had turned 6 years old, she had been baffling her parents for 2 years. At 6 years old, she began talking to her parents about how she had died in her last life. She stated that she had given birth by cesarean section. However, the following day she began to deteriorate and died 10 days later. This was shocking to most people, since at that age, she should not have been able to discuss the surgery or any aspects of it. Even the family's physician was astonished by the details this child knew when it came to such a complicated surgery. The one piece of information that Shanti did not share was the name of her supposed husband. At least, not until she was 9 years old. All of this knowledge only deepened the mystery behind their child. Yet somehow, they figured that somehow their daughter had lived a previous life. As the years continued, Shanti continued to press her parents into taking her to Mathura, her former home where she could describe and give directions to. She also spoke about how her husband's clothes store was located in front of the Dwarkadish temple. Persistence paid off for Shanti Devi, or Lukdi Devi, as she was able to convince her parents to allow a meeting being arranged by a friend or a distant relative, depending on which version you prefer. Kedarnath arranged to come to the town where Shanti Devi lived. He brought his son, which was also Lukti's son, and Kedarnath's new wife. However, Kedarnath was pretending to be his brother. But Shanti saw right through the scheme and recognized him immediately. She also recognized her son, who was now older, but not quite a teenager yet. She recognized him also. Her eyes welled with tears as she told Kedarnath that he was not the brother. She turned to the family friend or relation and stated, "Did I not tell you that he was fair-skinned, wore reading glasses and had a mole on his cheek near his ear?" Finally, Kedarnath did admit to who he was, and after talking for a period of time, he was ready to state that Shanti had many of Lukti's traits and mannerisms. She knew many things that a child her age should not know. However, before he, her son, and Kedarnath's new wife left to return home, he requested a few moments alone to speak with Shanti Devi. Upon a small amount of discussion, permission was granted. While alone, Kedarnath did ask Shanti a very private and ultimately personal question. As she had been bedridden with severe arthritis pains in her legs, Kedarnath asked her a question that the answer would only be known by him and Lukti. He asked her how it was that she was able to become pregnant while she was in such pain. Shanti answered completely and totally accurately, according to Kedarnath. He stated that in fact, he was so sure that this was his deceased wife, he had no doubts. He had also cried when he realized that it was true. She was who she claimed to be. Upon leaving the room, he stated that he had no doubts any longer as to Shanti's claims of being Lukti. He believed her. Shanti's question to Kedarnath was, "Why did you marry her? Did we not agree neither of us would marry again?" Finally, the time had come. Mahatma Gandhi had arranged a travel group that would take Shanti to Mathura, and this group was to record everything said by Shanti. There was to be no one speaking to the child except the one guard. Upon arriving at the rail station, she was asked who a certain elderly man was sitting there at the station. Shanti walked to the man, touched his feet, and stated happily that it was Kedarnath's older brother, her brother-in-law. Within a large crowd of people, Shanti also singled out one man. She claimed that he was her father-in-law. This was certainly true. It was Kedarnath's father. She was placed in a carriage of sorts for a ride to wherever she would direct the driver to go. On the way, Shanti was able to point out different places of importance to her and Kedarnath, and she gave direct and detailed directions on how to arrive at Kedarnath's home. When they walked into the house, Shanti pointed out where her bedroom was and other areas of the home. When asked about the money she claimed to have hidden in her past life, Shanti immediately went to the second floor. She had told Gandhi and her parents that she had hidden money in a certain spot. As she reached the location, she found a flower pot, but it was empty. There was no money. Kedarnath did admit shortly thereafter that he had found the money and he had used it. It was indeed in the location she went to. After the visit to the town of Mathura, the commission or travel group that was sent to travel with Shanti Devi did declare that the child was truly Lukti. There was thought that there was no way she would have known any of the information she shared or the people that she knew in a town that she had never been to before. At least never in her current life. When asked what happened at her death, she described a sort of waiting era where she was shown the good and the bad. There were angels or teenage males standing around her in yellow undergarments that would take her where she was told to go. The strange part was that she was carried in a cup. All this information was repeated numerous times to the physicians, hypnoticists, and of course, multiple skeptics. Dr. Ian Stevenson is a leading authority on reincarnation and has written works in regards to the subject. For the book, he had interviewed Shanti Devi, Ketnarnath, and many other witnesses. Of all the intimate, personal, and detailed questions asked of her, Shanti answered the majority of them correctly. That is to say that at least 24 of her memories matched with the actual facts. Shanti Devi will always be known as one of the most important cases of reincarnation. During her life, she never married. Of course, she had married once, and that was to be the only time. This little girl knew many answers to a variety of questions. She knew people in a crowd, a town she had never been to as Shanti Devi. So what do you think of the events that have transpired in this story?